Have you ever wondered, why do people keep crossing my boundaries? You are not alone. It's very common for people to externalize this problem and only focus on the boundary crosser. However, in my experience, a lot of the time, we have something to do with it. Do you set boundaries but don't actually enforce them? Do you assume that people should know what your boundaries are, know where they are, and therefore obviously not cross them? Do you feel guilty about saying no and then find yourself either over explaining or backtracking or sometimes never saying no in the first place? Do you keep making exceptions to your boundaries for the same people over and over again? I'm not laying blame. I'm just saying take responsibility. Take responsibility for your contribution to your challenges with boundaries. And then as you shift, people are going to shift around you. Sometimes it's a dramatic shift, sometimes it's a gentle shift. Sometimes you can say to people a couple of times, I don't like when this is done. I don't like when this is done. I don't like when this is done. I've told you a few times that I don't like when this is done. And if it happens again, I'm going to. And that's where you establish the consequence. The important thing is, once you've established that consequence, it's your responsibility to carry it through. It's your responsibility to do what you said. If you're not sure what you're going to do, then don't make a promise. Don't specify that you're going to block the person or you're going to stop talking to the person if you're not certain that's what you're going to do. If you are unsure, you can simply say things are going to change. If this continues, I'm going to have to take action. And then sit with yourself. Think about it, breathe, concentrate on what your heart, your soul, your mind is saying, and carry out the promises that you make at that point. In my program, I'll be teaching you how to establish boundaries that work with you, that work for you, that you're comfortable executing. I'm sure sometimes you've heard people give you advice that just doesn't resonate with you. You can't see yourself doing that because your friend stopped talking to her mother altogether, and that's not okay with you. That's not required, but you can be firm and say, Mommy, this is not okay with me. I'm not going to accept such and such. And even for your mother or your boss or somebody that you highly respect, you can establish a boundary that you feel completely 100% comfortable with. You can get to a place where you can say no without feeling guilty. Or if you feel guilty, it's an emotion that you're able to sit with, accept, and manage. You can train people to respect your limits the first time you set them. Because if you are consistent over time, you don't have to repeat your boundary several times before people take you seriously. You can get to the place where you say it once and then you take action. If you use obscene language in my presence, I'm going to leave. The first time they do it, I don't let people speak to me like that. Bye. You can build relationships based on mutual respect, not obligation. So when you say something, it is respected. And when other people say something, it is respected. And with this and more, these are the foundations to beginning to have relationships that you are comfortable with, that you feel able to carry out, that you enjoy having. So stick around. We're going to be talking a lot more about relationships this month.